More than 3/4 of the people who get health insurance through Obamacare actually live in states that President Trump won in 2024. President Trump, the White House says it's preparing to potentially lay off thousands of federal workers. That's never been done before. Can those people depend on congressional Republicans to extend those health insurance tax credits by the time they expire?
So earlier we covered a few clips of Trump's economic advisor on CNN. I wanted to now jump over to MAGA Mike Johnson on Meet the Press, also desperately trying to avoid blame for this government shutdown, despite MAGA controlling all levers of government. So leave us a like on the video, gives us a boost in the algorithm, lets more people see us. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. That's only possible with you guys, and let's hop right back in.
Things that you could be doing. There are appropriations bills that you could be working on. There's a new Democratic Congresswoman who still needs to be sworn in. Isn't there still critical work that you could be doing on behalf of the American public?
We're doing that critical work. Let me just start by saying, I listened to my friend Hakeem there, and when we used to do debate competitions in high school, they taught us to watch out for the red herring. The red herring is a distraction. Literally everything my friend just said there was unnecessary, because what he's trying to talk about is a December funding issue, the health care provision, some of these Obamacare subsidies that expire December 31st. He is looking over entirely the fact that we have to keep the government open.
He mentioned the literal thing he was doing. That's crazy. He was asked why he's shutting down Congress when there's things that they can still do, negotiations they can still have. And the answer actually has nothing to do with the shutdown, but the Congresswoman he doesn't want to swear in. And he does the red herring and the distraction to not have to talk about that. It's because this Congresswoman is the tie-breaking vote that would force the release of the Epstein files, something Republicans are trying to delay at all costs. So he's giving extended breaks and recesses and more to the House to prevent this from happening and allow more and more time to protect Trump or redact his name from the files or whatever the move might end up being. I just had to point that out because in lying about what Hakeem Jeffries did, he literally exposed his own trick, and I don't think he noticed that.
Let me ask you about some of the issues at play here, because President Trump, the White House says it's preparing to potentially lay off thousands of federal workers. That's never been done before in a shutdown. Do you support laying off thousands of federal workers as a part of this shutdown?
We haven't seen the details yet about what's happening, but it is a regrettable situation that the president does not want. The president asked Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries in the Oval Office about a week ago, please don't do this. Please keep the government open and we'll work out all these issues that we have plenty of time to work out.
What do you want to see, though? Do you want to see thousands of federal workers laid off?
No, I want Chuck Schumer to do the right thing that he's done throughout his 30-plus year career in Congress.
He's, of course, here avoiding the real question again. The government shutting down does not necessitate layoffs to the point that it's entirely unprecedented to do so. It's never happened, especially when it's clearly been made as a threat to Democrats to try and force them to comply with Trump. He doesn't want to answer that because it's either ostracize Trump, who then cancels you from the party, or you ostracize working class Americans who ostracize you from leadership. But you have to, again, love how they're pointing fingers here rather than taking any accountability. He said Trump promised they would work out their deals if they kept the government open. Well, okay, why won't you sign on to them now? Okay, why won't you commit to do so now? Okay, why won't you take a principal position now? They're clearly just lying to stall for time, get this one going. They can then keep their, train going with their momentum of tearing apart agencies and destroying democracy and the Constitution, and then come back and say, we don't really want to do it. Like, Republicans control every facet of government. We should say this time and time again when they pretend to be victims here. If they want to open it, they can return to acting like they live in a democracy, not a dictatorship.
More than 3/4 of the people who get health insurance through Obamacare actually live in states that President Trump won in 2024. We're talking about some 19 million people, Mr. Speaker. Can those people depend on congressional Republicans to extend those health insurance tax credits by the time they expire?
We have plenty of time to figure that out because, again, it doesn't expire until the end of the year.
Do you commit to that?
I commit to what Republicans have always done and what we've already proven this year in the One Big Beautiful Bill, the Working Families Tax Cuts. Republicans are the ones in Congress working to improve health care access, quality, and make it cheaper. We want to bring the cost down of health care. premiums are too high. But it's not because of Republican policies. It's because Obamacare is not working. We're trying to fix it.
If Obamacare isn't working, then why are premiums set to go up over 75% if Obamacare subsidies expire? A 75% discount almost sounds like massive help to working class families. Maybe rich MAGA Mike doesn't understand that in the MAGA base, even though, Medicaid is disproportionately used by Republicans actually. Notice, though, how he does delicately skirt around actually answering the actual question. Again, the thing he pointed out Hakeem Jeffries for doing. He's not committing to doing anything because he can't, which is exactly why the Democrats shouldn't play ball with these weasels as if they're serious good faith arbiters. They've exposed that they're not. They're very clearly not going to do this. They never would, and they're willing to let these expire, which is why they were set to cut them in the first place. As if they're the ones who want to protect this. It's laughable that he says MAGA is the party fighting for healthcare protection. The one big beautiful bill kicks millions off of Medicaid, lowers payments to providers from insurance, and increases medicine costs for many as well. Party of the working class, by the way, guys.